Hello and welcome to the Console Space Podcast. Welcome back, boys. You were gone forever. Where'd you go? I missed you. Just kidding, it was me that left. I think this is going to be episode 23, and I only wanted to say that because Rob would appreciate that nobody likes you when you're 23. If it's not episode 23, sue me. I don't give a shit.
It is episode 23.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Unless we post it before episode 22.
Allegedly.
Stay tuned. Keep you on the edge of your seat.
We're less in the dark, and you get to know the answer already.
Right. As you may have guessed, this is the podcast where we get together and talk about what's going on in the console space. Before I introduce my wonderful co-hosts, I'm going to do a little bit of what they call housekeeping. Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off? So, I just wanted to let everybody know that, so pretty much we were having a lot of technical problems. We had really shitty internet, and then I was using ancient editing software. And so from here on out, we should be able to have less of a turnaround time in terms of our videos. Ironically enough, this one is Body 3, which happened 3 weeks ago. So in classic fashion, this is going to be late. That's only because I was in Greece for 2 weeks for my honeymoon.
Brag about it, why don't you?
It was a good time. So, but from here on out, I think we'll be able to get these up a little quicker. There's some things that we figured out to be more efficient. Just wanted to get that in there. It's just ironic that this is about E3, which was 3 weeks ago. But whatever, it happens. It's all good.
E3 weeks ago.
Oh, to my left, the one and only Slickwick Jonathan Porter.
Oh, that's a new one.
How's it going, man?
It's going good, Sean.
Going good.
Yeah.
He is a co-host and co-producer, and so is he. And his name
Important designations.
is the Raz Dad you wish you had, with his hot Zelda mug.
Yeah, it's getting colder. It's starting to go away. It's heat changing.
Rob Kettle, how's it going?
It's going good, John.
We just lost all 14 subscribers.
Jables.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't talked to you in a while, so I know you're playing something that I don't know about.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
But it's something I've played before. I got back into Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I started playing that again.
I'm excited.
Yeah, like I expected a long time ago, we were talking about when Monster Hunter came out. I was talking about I'm going to stop playing Horizon, play Monster Hunter because it just came out and I want to play it while it's brand new. And I got back into Horizon, and as I suspected, completely forgot what anything was and how to do anything. Took me a little bit to get back into the controls. But it really, the worst part, it didn't take that long to get back into the controls, but I was walking around, you collect stuff, you sell it, you craft stuff. What I completely forgot about was that I kept running out of inventory space. I'm like,
oh yeah,
I'm
that's a pain in the ass.
This is I collect 2 things and I run out of space. What do I do? This sucks. And then found out later, oh yeah, there's a crafting menu and you can expand your inventory and get more space and hold more things, and that fixed everything. And that was the one thing that I was like, boy, wish I didn't forget about that.
Right.
But yeah, just Horizon, and then I've been playing Mario Party 3 with people.
Mario, that's old school. One of my good friends who is currently in med school, so he has not much time to play games, as you can imagine, but he had a few weeks off between his current part of it or whatever, and he beat Horizon, and he was like, dude, it's so good. Yeah. It's such a good game, so I'm glad you're playing it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Robert?
I went back and I'm trying to 100% Red Dead Undead Nightmare.
Ooh. Getting ready for
I'm
2.
getting ready. Oh yeah.
It'll be here before you know it.
Oh, I know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Killing zombies. There's this one part like this one like mission you have to do where you have to go like kill Sasquatches or something, and there's 4 of them you have to kill, and you kill 3 of them, and you get to the last one, and he starts like talking to you, and he's like, "Oh, they killed my whole race of people," and blah blah blah, and it's just like, sorry, that was me.
It's, you know what, it is actually funny you mention that, because I never played Undead Nightmare either. I just didn't play it for some reason. I don't really know why I didn't play it, but I have been saving it to get myself ready for Red Dead 2.
Oh.
So I probably will also play that soon.
It's
so.
pretty good. It doesn't hold up as well as like the Red Dead game.
Yeah, sure.
It kind of gets a little bit repetitive of like burning down cemeteries and like saving towns, because that's pretty much all you do. And there's like little like side missions like Sasquatch stuff like that, but it's alright.
You're gonna burn your school down
Down to the ground.
to the ground.
I also have Undead Nightmare, and I've never played it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's harder because the ammunition's a lot harder to come by.
Yeah.
But the Red Dead targeting system lasts like a million times longer.
Ah.
So you can like Red Dead target like 20 zombies at once. So that's pretty sweet.
Cool.
Sean, what have you been playing?
Well, before I left for Europa, I was trying to play Far Cry 5. It's kind of funny. I think I mentioned this in the last podcast. I don't remember. It's been so long. I'll be brief at any rate. I borrowed it off my cousin because he was playing it, and he was like, "This game sucks. You can have it." I was like, "Okay." And our friend Todd, who I do our sports shows with, he didn't really like it either. He got maybe like a third of the way through it and was like, "I'm over this game." And so that appears to be like a running theme with Far Cry, and I am on that boat. Just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad. It's just more Far Cry. Just didn't really suck me in. I don't find myself wanting to play it, so I just quit playing it.
Yeah.
I just quit playing it.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I feel like a lot of the Ubisoft games have been like that. I know they said this one's supposed to be different, but yeah.
It really wasn't. It's just, I mean, they're the kings of like opening games with these crazy awesome scenes, and you're like, "Oh, that's gonna be an awesome villain," you know, and an awesome story, and then it just no. So because I was traveling overseas, I mean, obviously I wasn't taking my PS4. I mean, I guess I could have taken my Vita. That's kind of a lost cause at this point, though. So I took my Nintendo Switch. And really the main thing that I have left to play on that right now. When I left, the new Mario Tennis wasn't out yet. Or else I probably would have, happily taken that along with me. But, I mean, I beat Mario Odyssey, so I really only had to play Zelda. And I probably mentioned on one of our previous shows, a while ago, that Zelda just wasn't really sucking me in. It's good, but I don't know, blah, blah. Well, I'm finally hooked.
Yeah.
I played it on the plane rides, which were very long, and I'm finally, like, really into it and, like, really enjoying it, and I can't stop playing it. So that's good. That's really all I've been playing. I mean, like I said, like, I literally uninstalled Far Cry. I was like, I'm just not even going to do it. We're going to shift to our main topic. I wanted to say, just real quick, in honor of one of my homelands, I'm wearing my Italia. They didn't qualify for the World Cup, though.
It's okay the U.S. didn't either.
That's all I was expecting at this point. Anyway, so, E3. We haven't gotten to talk about this, again, because I was fortunately gone. But we're getting around to it now. So E3 happened, and we're just going to talk about the conferences, what you guys think about them, so on and so forth. I guess we'll just start with Nintendo because it was the shortest, and it's pretty much just Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
It was literally half of the conference was them just showing the shit out of the Smash Brothers, which looks great, mind you, but
It was cool, but I don't care about Smash Brothers enough to like want to hear the stats on like the like 60
Yeah.
plus characters in the game.
Once they were like 20 minutes into Smash, I was like, okay,
What else you got?
can we stop
Nothing.
talking about Smash? And I was sad that we didn't see like even any kind of gameplay of the new Pokemon.
I was,
Not the like
The
Right.
one that's coming out soon.
yeah the
Let's Go
yeah.
Pikachu.
I mean,
Let's Go.
I was hoping we would at least see a glimpse of like some kind. I mean, I guess there is in the trailers,
Right.
but I mean, it like actually being played.
yeah, and it wasn't even like they just like mentioned it passing. They're like, oh yeah, Pokemon's coming out. Like they didn't really talk
Yeah.
about anything about it.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of surprising. You figure.
I was really disappointed.
I thought that's why they announced it ahead of time to get people pumped and show some more stuff off for it. But yeah, I like Smash Brothers. I'm excited for it, and I'm someone who would sit down and watch all the stuff about all the characters. But like I guess I am surprised that they made that like their main thing. Like I know everyone's not gonna be pumped to just talk about each individual character for like 40 minutes. So.
yeah.
And that's going to be interesting, for what they do moving forward, because now that every single character in history is in this game, what do you do moving forward?
You gotta keep it in.
You gotta. Well, honestly, the next one, it's either A, not gonna have as big of a roster, and they'll just switch it up with new characters,
Right.
Or I don't know. If they keep it going with that many characters each time and just add to it, that'll be insane.
I guess they might. It's possible.
They could, but that must be so difficult to balance that game.
Well, it's cool that there's that many characters for like competition play.
Yeah.
But like if you're just like sitting around with your friends, you're all gonna pick like the same 4 characters that you always have. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I have no idea.
it's weird. New Mario Party looks pretty sweet.
That was like the main surprise of the show.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, and it does look really good.
I'll finally be able to graduate from Mario Party 3 to
Yeah.
new Mario Party.
There you
Dude,
go.
20 years later, you're in.
Yeah.
Like a 3 console jump.
Yeah. Well, every Mario Party they've made since 3, there's been like weird gimmicks and weird things to it where it's like, I don't know, it's not really that good. There was the one where, I think the one for Wii where you're in the everyone's in the car.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It looks like they're going back to.
I like when each board had its own gimmick.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just liked it better that way.
Yeah, they were okay up to like maybe 5 or 6, and then it was like, I was done.
Yeah, the Wii one wasn't that good.
No. So that's Nintendo for you. I mean, we got what we expected. It was short and sweet, as they usually are. Wasn't a bad showing by any means. It was just Smash was basically it. It was just like Smash Brothers for like the whole time. So I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Sony. So I know we talked about previously how in kind of unprecedented fashion they pretty much revealed their hand prior to the show. They just pretty much were like, hey, this show will focus on Spider-Man, The Last of Us, Death Stranding, and Ghost of Tsushima. And sure enough, they did show all 4 of those games, and they looked unfreaking believable.
Mm-hmm.
They were insane.
Yeah, they all look fantastic.
Yeah. A lot of people criticize Sony's presentation itself. Like, it was strange how they opened with The Last of Us, like in that churchy barn thing.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they didn't do the whole presentation from that spot, because like that was the big thing was after they showed The Last of Us right at the beginning. There's a little bit of an intermission right off the bat, and they moved everyone across the street to another like area to show them the other trailers.
Right.
And
I'm sure it would have had more of an impact if you were actually there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been really cool if you were there, but the problem is most people aren't.
Yeah. And I'm curious. I didn't really look to see how people reacted that were there. Like, I'm curious if you were there and you're like sitting down, you got your seat, and they showed this game, and you're like, oh, cool. And they're like, okay, that was one game. Everyone get up. We're gonna move across the street. Would you be like, cool, or would you be like, God, like
Probably annoyed.
I'm sure, like, on the way into like the venue and stuff, it was like all like Last of Us themed. Like I'm sure it was more of an artistic decision than a logistical decision.
Yeah.
And I think since this game has so much hype to live up to, like this is probably going to be one of the most hyped games of all time, that they wanted the people that were at the conference, like the like taste makers of the game industry, to like get like immersed in it.
Yeah, and I think that's cool, but I guess I just don't see why they had to move it. They could have left it. Like they could have kept going and showed the other. It's not like they had like all these other games that were like, oh, this is going to be so weird to show these off in this themed area. Like they could have just kept going there.
Yeah. I mean, at first I thought that's where the whole show was going to be, and I was like, this is weird for E3, but very intimate and kind of different and interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know. It could have been like cool to show off the other games in that space, but
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the gripes about the presentation itself, but
yeah,
I mean, I don't really get too sucked into that. I mean, for me, it's just about the games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and like that's the most important thing, and what they showed was unmatched. I mean, like it wasn't even close. So that's the most important thing to me, are the exclusive games.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think the games that they showed look awesome. Every one of them I want to play. So
yeah, I mean, out of the four, we obviously kind of knew what to expect with The Last of Us and Spider-Man.
mm-hmm.
Death Stranding, we did get some gameplay, but it was like mostly just him walking around. So we're still kind of like, what exactly is going to happen? But I'm still just intrigued.
Not much given away.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say not much given away as far as the gameplay goes. It possibly, as every trailer with Death Stranding does, just added more questions.
Yeah.
Just okay. Now we see a little bit of gameplay, but it didn't look like gameplay. Yeah. What was that?
Which is by design.
Yeah.
I'm sure. The most interesting out of the four to me was Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really know what to expect from that game, and it looks awesome.
Mm.
Out of all of them, I mean, I'm definitely the most excited for The Last of Us 2, because how could you not be? But beside that one, probably Ghost. I'm really pumped for that game. It looks really cool. It looks really well done, and I'm just excited to get my hands on that game. A few other smaller things. They did announce a sequel to Neo.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
That was. I didn't expect that. Honestly.
Yeah,
there's all these samurai type games coming out.
Yeah,
or like themed games. Near 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Tsushima.
Yeah,
and the new game from Software that was announced at a different conference, but.
Oh right.
Did they show us anything from it during the Sony conference? The From Software game?
No.
Shadows Die. I just keep calling it Shadows Die Twice.
Right. No, they did not. But they did show Control.
Oh
which
yeah, that
is the
cool
new
too.
game. But there had been rumors for a while that Remedy's new game was multi-platform.
Mm-hmm.
So Microsoft, they didn't really lose the studio per se. But up to this point, like, Remedy was pretty much only making games for them. I assume that's because Quantum Break underperformed.
Yeah.
So their next game is going to be on both consoles, and it's called Control, and it looks interesting. I don't really know if... I think some of the trailer might have been gameplay.
Yeah.
I have to see it again. I don't know. But it looked cool.
Yeah, it did.
That was really the gist of Sony's show. I mean, it was, the actual... Oh, they did reveal the RE2 remake, which I'm sure you're excited about.
Oh, yes, Resident Evil 2 remake. Yeah. Looks cool. Looks like they took the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4 and took the best of both worlds, and it looks really awesome.
You've been proud of me. I was watching the show live with my friend Todd. Well, yeah, and our friend Todd, and then our friend Cody, and when that came up, obviously we were like, "What the hell is this?" And right as soon as I saw the PS1, I was like, "It's R2."
Yeah.
And they didn't believe me. They're like, "No, it's not." And I was like, "Fine, all right, watch." And
Yeah.
sure enough, it was Resident Evil 2. But yeah, anyway, that's about the gist of Sony's show. Not really anything super surprising, but like in terms of like what they actually showed, it was pretty damn good.
I'm excited for Death Stranding because I just feel like it's gonna be one of those. I don't know. It's right up my alley. It's gonna be something where I'm trying to figure out what's going on the whole time. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Did you guys go ahead? Sorry.
The only thing I was gonna say is, and we'll get into this later, is that for the Sony conference, from my perspective, the pros, every game they showed was awesome. Everyone I think is cool. I want to play it. They went into detail on a lot of stuff. On the bad side, they just they didn't show a lot, but that's fine. They did, and it was just a weird conference with the breaks, and I really hated the parts where it went away from the conference and went to those people talking about stuff. That was just really awkward.
It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
So remember when we were first talking about this, and I said that my fear was that it was going to be the same format as PSX.
Mm-hmm.
And once they showed The Last of Us and then made that cut, as guys at the table, I was like, oh no.
Oh boy.
I was like, they're really going to do this. And, turns out obviously that was just because they were transferring venues.
They needed to fill the time,
but yeah, it was just kind of, it's like, climactic. You're like, oh my god, Last of Us 2 looks awesome, and there's a 20-minute gap of nothing. So like I said, I mean, I definitely agree with those gripes, but for me, it's ultimately about the games that you show, and they just right now, like in terms of first party exclusives, you can't tell me they're not winning that battle. It's so. I don't know if you guys want to talk at all about the big third parties. I don't pay a whole lot of attention. I did watch a little bit of Bethesda's. I'm sure you might want to talk about Bethesda.
I thought Bethesda's was cool.
Let's talk about Andrew WK playing, and I was so happy and knowing that was in the audience cared at all.
Nah.
Of course, I think it was Pete Hines came out in a Capitol shirt. I was like, you son of a bitch. Whatever, I get it. You're from Maryland.
Gotta talk about Fallout.
Yeah.
Gotta talk about it.
Dude, Fallout 76 looks awesome.
I'm
not even a Fallout fan, and I might play this game.
I mean, honestly, same. I like Fallout, but like, I didn't finish 4. I wasn't super into it, but I think this one looks cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, we obviously...
I was gonna say, and part of it is just because I want to walk around in West Virginia and explore the location. I'll probably just come here and hang out in my living room.
In this living room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all from West Virginia, so it is really cool to us that this new Fallout game takes place here. That's a big draw for me as well, and just because the environment for once isn't just this open dead wasteland. There's forest and trees and things.
It's like an area that survived. Yeah,
I mean, that was always one of my things with Fallout that was kind of off-putting, is just that it's just these giant open wastelands of of just shit. And I'm I mean...
Well, I think in the beginning when they did the wastelands, it was just a way from getting around having to populate a map.
Sure. Well,
and then it just got to the point where it's you're making these huge games, but there's nothing in it.
Yeah. Because I know Fallout 3 is kind of what put them on the map, and then New Vegas, from what I hear, a lot of people say that's their favorite one.
I hear that.
Is New Vegas. 4, a lot of people said 4 was kind of just more Fallout. Like, not bad, but just kind of more Fallout.
Yeah. 3 was when Bethesda started making Fallout games.
Right.
And before that, they were like isometric, like top down, like RPGs, and then they went from I went to that to the Skyrim, but post-apocalyptic kind of style.
For sure.
Well, it was crazy because everyone I talked to, I said that'd be nuts if they announced a new Fallout. Everyone said, no, like the last Fallout came out like a few years ago. Like there's no way. And then like the rumors started going around, and they're like, well, it's not going to be a full game. And then Bethesda's like, oh, this is a full brand new game that's bigger than the last one. I was like, whoa.
That was surprising to me. At first, I thought Fallout 4 dropped in November of 2016. But it was actually 15.
Okay.
So by the time 76 drops, there will be 3 years between games, and you have to figure they're already working on this one.
Yeah.
So it's not that unrealistic or surprising that they already are releasing another one. It will have been 3 years.
I think it's in a brand new engine too, isn't it?
I don't know. It might be. They had to retool a bunch of stuff just to make it work with multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. I want to say it's the same engine that they just retooled for that purpose, but I don't know. I know there's a lot of talk online about like the next game that they release will be in a whole new engine or whatever. Or if they make the new Elder Scrolls, it'll have to be in a new engine, whatever the case. But I would hope with Elder Scrolls, just because the Elder Scrolls engine, it's kind of janky.
Well, in the way that they were talking about the online functionality, they said it's going to be the map, but there's going to be, a dozen or 24 people in the entire map. Yeah. And I think that is kind of like a guinea pig experiment to see.
Full MMO?
Yeah.
Well, that's basically. Yeah, this is supposed to be. I don't know. I guess you could. Would you call this new an MMO?
I don't know.
It's an MMO if you also consider that to be like what they did with Destiny. They were like, oh, it's an MMO, and it like wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you shared servers with like a couple people, but not like everybody.
Right.
So, but I think it's really interesting that there's going to be such a large map with at most 24 people.
The map. You see
crazy.
The map.
Like you go around and not be able to find anybody, or you could, seek out all these people.
Oh my god, it would be like if there was a real Fallout.
I know.
What do you know?
Oh, it's like they wanted to do that.
Holy shit.
But just like think of like the infrastructure that's gonna take for like all of those like servers. It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
That's like technologically like groundbreaking. That's like a lot of work.
Some people keep talking about some of the locations that they've shown because we're from West Virginia, and there's some places that we've seen in real life.
WVU?
Right? Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. I haven't heard anyone say anything about the Moundsville Penitentiary. It's very briefly in one of the trailers they showed during the E3 press conference.
Definitely it.
It's definitely it. And I've hardly heard anyone say anything about it because they only shared screenshots of like the WVU and River Gorge and places like that. But in the trailer, they quickly show the penitentiary. And it's like, there's a place right down the street.
Yeah.
It's in the game. It's pretty cool.
I was looking at the map that they showed during the conference, and there's like what I assume is the Ohio River on the left upper hand, and Wheeling isn't listed. They didn't show anything that would be in Wheeling in the trailer.
Yeah.
But there is an island in the river, which I could only assume would be Wheeling Island. So I'm assuming that Wheeling is in the game.
Yeah. You'd assume. Yeah, because I saw someone post that map and like they had people guessing what each thing was.
Yeah.
And they actually had that pegged to something else, not Wheeling Island.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's a pretty solid chance it could be. So.
Because the map is not geographically accurate.
No, it's
kind of skewed.
Right. They pressed everything into a square.
Yeah.
And
they pushed square.
Yes.
Wow.
They were talking about. I saw a thing where they were talking about I forget what it was. There's something way off to the right, and they're like, "That'd be really cool to put in the game. Let's just put it in the game, and let's just make it work." So, yeah, it's not gonna be.
I have to wonder if they'll throw Pittsburgh in it.
I don't know.
I mean, there are
You went to Pittsburgh in one of the DLCs
In
for
3.
3.
Yeah.
the pit.
And it, yeah, you could see like some of the bridges and stuff that was really recognizable. So
Yeah.
We'll see.
So
Yeah.
it's possible, but probably not. I mean, I figure they want to stay in the state.
Pittsburgh is the jewel of Appalachia.
they're doing Mothman's in it.
I saw the Mothman.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the main selling point for me.
Just gonna hang.
I
out
just
with
want to kill the
Mothman.
Mothman.
I want to hang out with him.
And, hang out with him and then shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting that a East Coast developer lived so close to like the subject of what they were developing that they like went over like every inch of the state and was like, well, we got to put this in, or like we got to do this.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
said they
that's
sent people. They
super
sent people out and like location scouting and
Yeah.
stuff. But it's really fun. I've seen so many comments from people being like, "What's in West Virginia? Like,
Where's that?
what are they gonna put in it? What's that? What's there?
Western Virginia?
Yeah, and we have a Mothman. So
We have the Mothman.
Yeah, and you don't. So just think about that world.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, really, like, I know I'm weird in the sense that I don't like a lot of games by Bethesda, but this game looks. I mean, I'm probably gonna get this game.
yeah.
I'm excited for it. Now, I am going to critique Bethesda a little bit because that was all great, and also while I am really pumped that they did reveal a new Elder Scrolls,
Yeah.
and they did reveal that they're working on a new IP. That's great.
That will come out next gen.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like I mean,
They only did the Elder Scrolls thing so people wouldn't complain, because they're not concerned about that right now.
hell
And
no.
They had someone mock up that title over the whatever, just that CG video, and they're like, let's put this up there because if we don't say it, everyone's gonna be mad. Everyone's gonna ask us.
Yeah.
It's just gonna make the rest of the conference like overshadowed by people getting mad. So let's just put it in there.
Bethesda.
And it's stupid. People shouldn't be, they should be able to work on whatever they want to work on.
Yeah. I just felt like those were kind of crop outs and being like, hey, we have this to show, but we don't really have anything to show, and it's probably like 5 years away. Bethesda could. It's impressive that they can do a show to begin with.
I always forget because since they've bought all the studios, I always forget like how many games and things that titles that they own.
Yeah.
And every time it's like, oh yeah, they do have Wolfenstein and Doom and Quake and all this, all these other games.
But I feel like they would be better off doing it like maybe every other year.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they have quite enough to like enough of substance to truly show every single year. That's just me. And
Well, if they could fill time with Andrew WK.
dude, they needed to fill more time with WK. Let's be honest here. So, I don't know if you guys. I mean, EA. Who cares?
EA was probably the low point for me.
Ubisoft wasn't bad.
I actually didn't watch Ubisoft.
And then Square was kind of like also whatever. So, I don't know.
I did check out Squares, and there was pretty much everything they showed off was shown at someone else's conference.
Yeah.
And then the unique things were like, whatever.
Yeah. So, if you don't have anything else, that brings us to Microsoft.
There we go.
Oh, Microsoft. Okay. So, my notes out.
Sean prepared a speech.
I don't have a speech. I just have notes. I have notes on all of the conferences. So, I have this table here.
That's a full speech.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
it's not a full
paragraphs.
speech. Microsoft.
And
Okay.
notes.
So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. That's why I have my rant table today. It's a nice table. It's good. All right. Microsoft comes out and they go, we're going to have, we're going to show 50 games. And it was like 15 world premieres. And I think they were saying like something like half of those would be exclusives or something like that or whatever. Sounds great, right? Sounds awesome.
That sounds great.
Well, they did the same damn thing that they did last year, where it was something like 44 games, and then half of those were exclusive, but really it was like they're like console launch exclusive, which means that they just like they start out there, but then they go elsewhere like 6 months later, whatever. So they open the show with Halo. I think it's gonna be called Halo Infinite. There wasn't really any gameplay or anything.
Descriptive of Microsoft's strategy is just Halo Infinite.
Yeah, Halo Infinite for all of time. I was thinking at first that this could be the Battle Royale game.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, here it is. But apparently it's not. But really no one knows because they didn't like show gameplay. They just kind of revealed it and that was it. After that, they showed off Ori 2, the sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, which is like, again, one of their big indie games. It's good. Whatever. So the problem with these 50 games is that literally almost all of them were multi-platform. Like, which is okay. Actually, this was the show where they where we got the first look at from Software's new game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they did the reveal for Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah. Like that, and Fallout, Metro, Kingdom Hearts, Battlefield, Tomb Raider, The Division 2, Devil May Cry, just like...
Well, like, a lot of that is, like, you're just re-showing games that those developers already showed at their conference.
Some of them were... That happened, I think, with Well, actually, I think they showed Fallout...
They showed Fallout there
first.
Wow.
And then it was shown later by Bethesda, so...
I didn't watch their conference.
Okay. This is just... okay. So actually, Forza Horizon 4, that shouldn't surprise anybody. Of course they're going to make that. They actually did show Crackdown 3, which most people, I didn't think it was even going to be there. I was just kind of like, probably won't even be there.
They pushed it back.
Since E3, however, did you guys see that that team lost its main director or whatever?
Yeah, they lost. Yeah.
So, I'll be shocked if that game even ever comes out, and when it does, it's not going to matter because it's going to be a freaking mess.
It's a mess.
Bring your brooms because it's a mess. Oh, okay. They are bringing back Battletoads.
Right.
I don't know in what semblance. It seems like they're just probably going to kind of remaster the old games, which is fine, but I don't know. It didn't really reveal exactly what it was.
Right, it didn't say. And nowadays, if they just say Battletoads with no subtitle, it's like, is it a remake or is it a...
That just blows my mind that, that far removed from the original games that Microsoft, I don't know, that it ended up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just really weird to me.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, at least to me, it looked like it's probably going to end up being disappointing. But
Well, people have...
in fairness, we don't really know.
People have fond memories of Battletoads. I don't really like Battletoads.
Yeah.
There's that one game, I don't know.
So,
It's not my thing.
Yeah. So this was my personal favorite part of the conference. They show 3 new Gears games.
Yes.
So they show one that's called Gears Pop,
Yeah.
which is going to be
Like a mobile.
only a mobile game. The other one is a PC strategy game, which is going to be Gears Tactics. And then, of course, they revealed the new console Gears, which is Gears 5. I mean, we all knew that was coming sooner or later.
I thought that was really interesting how they did that. It could have. It was kind of lame, but I saw what they're trying to do, and I don't think it worked. But it could have been cool because it was like new gears, and then the pop figure comes through and it's like it's Gears Pop, gotcha. And then they do the next game, the strategy game, and then they're like, oh, by the way, and what they're trying to do is be like, all right, guess that's it. See, oh, by the way,
But wait, there's more.
there's one more, but it didn't come off that way. It came off as like, here's the pop game, here's the strategy game. All right, oh yeah, and then here's Gears 5.
Yeah.
And that's how it came off to me.
I feel like the people that they get to host all these conferences aren't charismatic enough to be doing what they're doing.
No, because they're game developers and they have to spend 100,000 hours at a computer. They're not like ready to come out and
I don't understand why
lead this crowd.
They need like people on stage. They're not answering any questions. Like they're not doing anything. Go hire like an actor to go do this. That's gonna entertain people. Like I don't know. That's just me.
There's never been like I don't know. There's like a couple people in the industry that I like. I enjoy watching them talk about the games.
Yeah.
But like I like Todd Howard coming out and talking about stuff.
Yeah.
But like other than that, there's like a couple people and it's like
people from Bethesda that speak like Swedish or something. You're just like, I don't even know what you're saying, bro.
Here's my thing with this. Like, I know I mentioned before that when Microsoft acquired the Coalition, they were working on a new IP. They canned it for Gears, and now you have the Coalition making 3 Gears games, 2 of which aren't even for Xbox. I mean, okay, like if you're that hellbent on, making Gears, fine, but clearly you have the team and the resources to split up projects. So like, why not make the new Gears? Because we know that we know you're gonna just keep making them, even though like I don't know why. Like let the other team make a new IP.
yeah.
Like I don't understand. The highlight of their show, ironically enough, probably wasn't really a game as much as it was. The way they phrased it was that they acquired 5 new studios.
They threw money at 5 new studios.
And here's the reason. It's just like my axe with Microsoft is just the way that they word things is always just so misleading. Like I mean, like all the way down to the console launch exclusives. At their show, they'll say like Xbox exclusive, but it's not though. And with these studios, it was somewhat similar. So they're like, okay, we're opening 5 studios. Acquiring 5 studios. Well, one of which is the one that they're opening, that they're saying is going to be like the first ever quadruple A studio. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
What does that even mean?
Sure. The other... So then there were 2 that were pretty much already making games for them. That was Undead Labs, which makes State of Decay, and Playground Games, I believe, which makes Forza Horizon. And they're also rumored to be making a new RPG, probably Fable. That's my guess.
Well, there was, they already said he was working on the new Fable. I forget who it was. What studio are you talking about right now?
Playground Games?
I don't remember. They already said someone's working on finishing the new Fable, I believe. I don't remember what studio it was.
It's probably them. I don't know. But what I'm getting at is, I mean, yes, they did technically acquire these studios, but there were studios that were already only making games for them. I mean, that would be like Sony acquiring Quantic Dream. I mean, they acquired them, but they were, Quantic Dream was only making games for them anyway.
Yeah, so with those studios, I don't even know. With those studios that already make the games for them, I guess the only difference now is they can tell them exactly what to do.
Yeah.
But
They're
that
making
might
the
be
extra
bad.
profit.
That might be bad. I have no idea. And they're making the extra profit, yeah.
Yeah. Now they get to make Halo Battle Royale.
Yeah. But
And then the other two
yeah.
was God, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Compulsion Games, which
Okay.
they've been working on that game for a long time. That game called We Happy Few,
Yes.
which looks almost kind of like cross between like something in BioShock. I mean, it looks okay. I don't know what's taking them so long to get the damn game out. But they acquired them, and then probably the biggest one was they acquired Ninja Theory,
Yeah.
which makes me mad. Not in a sense of like I'm like criticizing Microsoft for doing that, because I think that's actually a great move by them. It makes me salty because I'm probably not going to go and purchase an Xbox just to play their next game. Ninja Theory, if you didn't know, back in the day, they made Heavenly Sword, which was a criminally underplayed and underrated PS3 exclusive. It was an awesome game. It was great. Same thing with their next game, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Awesome freaking game. Criminally underplayed, underrated game. And then they did finally find some commercial success with Hellblade.
Yes.
So like they make good games, and at this point, with what you assume will like only be more and stronger funding, they're gonna put out a good like big AAA game for Microsoft. Supposedly within the negotiations, they said that they were fine with being acquired by Microsoft, but only if they had like full creative freedom.
Yeah.
If that is true, that's great for Microsoft, because they're actually finally going to get like a compelling new IP, which they haven't gotten since Vietnam. So again, that's a good move. But again, them acquiring, I mean, technically sort of, yeah, but they just, the way they word things, I'm like, you're slimy.
It's like they're a used car salesman or something.
Sort of.
And then when you do hear something good for them, you're like, but what's the catch?
Right. Now here is my thing. This was not a bad conference. They showed all kinds of great games. Many of which were showed for the first time. But again, the problem is just like basically all of them are third-party games. They aren't exclusive, or if they are, they're timed exclusive. Microsoft is the only company on this freaking planet that could show 50 games at a conference, and the only AAA exclusives are, take a guess. Take a freaking guess, Rob. Halo, Forza, and Gears of War. And if you want to throw Crackdown in there, that's being generous. Because, yeah, that game probably is AAA, but it ain't going to come out like one. So, it's like, yeah, it wasn't a bad show. They showed a lot of content, but ultimately, it's the same 3 games.
Yeah, I think that is true. I think, in my opinion, the way I saw it is that I liked Microsoft's conference the best. I enjoyed watching that one the most because they did what, that's after every conference, it's like, boy, I wish they would have shown more games. So at this conference, they were like game.
Yeah.
And that was good, and I enjoyed their conference the most. I enjoyed the individual, like we were saying, the games that Sony showed off. Each one of those games was fantastic games that I want to buy right off the bat. But so what I'm saying is Microsoft, I like their conference better. It's just, yeah, it didn't necessarily show me anything that was going to make me buy an Xbox. But their conference, the conference itself, I thought was great.
Yeah, Microsoft had the better conference. Sony had better content. Or I guess I should say exclusive content.
Okay.
Which is...
That's fair.
Again, I mean, that's what separates the consoles. That's why I personally have always preferred PlayStation, which I'm sure isn't that much of a secret, just because I feel like they offer higher quality first-party exclusives. Mm-hmm. It's not that Microsoft doesn't do that. It's just that it's the same damn 3 over and over again. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm right there with you. Microsoft ended their show with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Which is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean...
They got a lot of... And even though none of those games are exclusive, I'm sure there are people watching the Xbox conference that are like, holy shit, I got to buy an Xbox because I want to play those games. Well, even though you don't have to have an Xbox to play those games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's the argument to be made that theoretically and technically speaking, you should be able to play the best versions of those games with the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Although that hasn't worked out so well with PUBG. I don't know. I mean,
that's a weird case though, because the people making that game, I mean, that game doesn't run good on anything.
Yeah, so. Exactly. That's very true. The hell was I gonna say? Oh, speaking of the Xbox One X, at the end of Microsoft's conference, they also confirmed that they are like working on the new Xboxes already. Like, yeah, that's... plural. I guess the Xbox Scarlet is the code name.
Oh, really? Like we were saying in one of the other episodes, I don't want to hear anything about a new console yet.
That's the thing. I mean,
for
when
they
said
developers.
that, when they said that, I was like,
what is your problem?
No, I mean, look, Microsoft and Sony are both probably going to release hardware within 2 years. And that's fine. I mean, if we end up with a 7-year life cycle out of the Xbox One and PS4, great. Awesome. My thing is, why did they make the Xbox One X?
If they're just going to make another one right after.
What was the point? I mean, so far, you've gotten Sea of Thieves, which, I mean, yeah, well, we won't even go there. They were supposed to get Crackdown, which even Crackdown isn't going to be some technical masterpiece that you have to have this crazy hardware to play it on. I mean, at this point, the only reason that you even have an Xbox One X is to run Forza, which I'm sure looks really pretty on it. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there are some third-party games that also look good on it, but considering PS4 is the lead platform, I don't think a lot of developers are, chomping at the bit to, we have to make these crazy superior versions on this hardware that is getting slaughtered in sales. You know what I mean? So I don't know why they did it. I think that they were back into a corner and we're like, well, yeah, like we're losing this generation and we don't have any games, but now we have the world's most powerful console. Okay.
Yeah, it's just just missing the point. And whoever, you need to have the best games. You need to make more games.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they could have just waited. Could have just waited and released whatever the Xbox Scarlet will be, presumably in like 2020. That was, I was almost shocked when he was like, "Oh yeah, like the Xbox team is already working on multiple new Xboxes."
Yeah,
I was like, "You just released one like what 7 months ago? What?"
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's some people that are just like, yes, new stuff every time with every announcement. But like,
yeah,
I know for me, it's like when I hear we're working on the next Xbox, I'm like, well, don't buy an old Xbox because they're gonna abandon it. That's the first thing that runs through my mind with any console release. It's like they announced the Switch. It's like, well, they're not gonna make games for the Wii U anymore, like stuff like that. But that's just me being an old man that wants to hang out with the stuff that he already has.
Yeah, I feel
So,
you.
I mean, that's pretty much common sense, like business sense. Like, Microsoft's going to tell these studios, "Hey, make games that run the best on Xbox One X." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just
It's just, I don't know. I don't know how many people share that opinion with me, but I just don't want to buy another console if we can still make we still got some time left.
I feel like, I don't know. It just makes me feel that Microsoft's being like skeezy, like they're trying to like wade into like the Apple territory of releasing a new thing every year that's the same as last year.
Yeah.
it seems like they're getting there.
Yeah.
It's damn sure. I don't know. I just feel like much like last year, it was a very, very similar show to last year, and I think it was a lot of smoke and mirrors. Again, I don't think it was a bad conference, but it's just like when you really peel away what they truly showed that is only coming to their platform, it was the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm just like, okay, well, you had, 50 games, and they all look really great, but I don't need your console to play them. And technically speaking, because they're being so like open to like combining with PC, you're gonna get to the point where you don't need an Xbox anyway.
Yeah.
Which is good in a sense for like kind of like trying to like combine communities of gaming. But I mean, again, like I have always bought Sony's consoles because they have really, really awesome games that I can only play there.
Yeah.
And same with Nintendo too.
Mm-hmm.
I think
so
I think in the future, probably after the next gen, it's going to be like Sony's going to have a service that's like Steam. Microsoft is going to have a service that's like Steam.
I could see it. That or it's just all just VR.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Or both.
Yeah, you'll buy their VR and then just like plug it into their system.
We still going?
Yeah,
Still going.
Yeah, we're approaching an hour.
Approaching an hour. Yeah, I'm just gonna say we're gonna pretty much wrap it up anyway.
Yeah.
Ah.
One real quick comment on one thing, because there was a negative thing about Sony, the whole thing with Fortnite.
Oh yeah, that's a whole debacle right now.
Yeah.
Um,
If you play Fortnite on PS4, you are not allowed to play it on any other console with that count. They locked it out.
yeah.
They lock out your account when you log in on PS4. And also, all of the other consoles and PC and everything are cross-platform. So if you play it on Switch, you can play it with people on Xbox and stuff like that, I think. So that kind of sucks. And I mean, Sony's just in that position of they have the most sales, they have this big player base, and they want you to stick with their stuff. But it hit a point where it's like, if you don't just let people do what they want, it's just going to give you this negative image, and it's worth allowing people to play with other people on different consoles just to avoid the negative press of what's happening right now. They just look stupid. So
Yeah.
My thing is this: because they are so far in the lead and still have probably the best. I mean, here's in terms of the first party exclusives, we still probably haven't played the best of what what they're going to release. I understand if they still for now want to hold out the crossplay, but a lot of people out of their accounts. That's what that needs fixed right now.
yeah.
If you still want to be kind of stubborn because you're the king of the hill right now, fine. I personally don't care about crossplay. I could care less about it, personally. I do think ultimately, especially with all the other companies now embracing it. They eventually will.
I would hope.
But for right now, they at least need to fix the whole account thing because that's just stupid.
Yeah,
That's-
there's just no reason for
I don't
that.
understand that.
On the topic of Fortnite, I do love it when at conferences they're like, oh yeah, and we have this last thing and it comes out now. Nintendo did that with Fortnite. They're like, oh, you can play Fortnite on Switch in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think Sony will come around. If I had to guess, just with the way things go, Sony is probably going to end up behind the 8 ball in some facet or another at the beginning of next generation.
Yeah.
I just think that they will. Like, things just seem to go that way.
Yeah, there's a little back and forth where...
Yeah. And when that happens, they will very quickly change their tune of like, oh, okay, we'll do crossplay.
Yeah.
It'll happen sooner or later.
Right, because that's the good part about there being competition with Microsoft and Nintendo is that when Microsoft says, oh, we're going to go all digital and you can't share your games anymore, Sony will be like, oh, that didn't get a very good reaction. We better not do that this time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's good.
And like that's part of why, even though I constantly criticize Microsoft because I just personally don't like Microsoft, but it doesn't mean that like I want them to fail.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing what happens when they are performing so poorly compared to Sony. I mean, Sony is getting a little big for their britches right now.
Yeah.
And that's just because they're like, well, we've sold like 80 million PS4s. And I mean, I hate when they do that, but part of that is because they're so far ahead.
Right.
You know?
So it's Microsoft on Twitter like tweeted something out like at Nintendo saying like, oh, you want to play Fortnite later or whatever, like as a joke, saying because you can't do it on Sony, and they need to do stuff like that because Sony needs to see it and be like, we
messed up.
We messed up, exactly.
Oh, dude! I mean, they've been taking jabs. Dude, they released that trailer. Did you see that trailer? It was a Switch trailer, and it was like it was for Minecraft, and it was saying how it's like way better when you play together. And like at the end, I'm not even kidding you. One side was Nintendo and one side was Microsoft. I'm dead ass serious.
That's funny.
And so I mean,
which people were. There was a while back when people were talking. When PS4 and Xbox One was kind of first being revealed, and Sony was doing some jabs to Microsoft about they did that whole thing where like, we're going to show you how you can share games on the PS4, and they like just handed disc to someone else.
That was funny.
And people were criticizing them, being like, they're getting too, saying it wasn't good sportsmanship, stuff like that. I thought it was hilarious, and I think what Microsoft is doing is hilarious, and I'm glad both sides do that. Because, like we were saying, both sides need to be like, hey, this is stupid, don't do that. Yeah. And both people, like, keep the other one in check.
Well, like, my favorite thing about this is you have Microsoft and Sony, and then you have Nintendo, which is, like, in its own little land, and it just chugs along. It doesn't really pay attention to what anybody else does, and then it just, like, jumps sides to, like, Sony or Microsoft just to, like, pick a fight.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm hanging out with this guy for a little while.
And here's the thing, though, is I would have to guess Nintendo probably likes Microsoft more than Sony.
Yeah.
They don't like Sony. I mean,
because they're also Japanese.
That is competition straight up in their homeland.
Yeah.
So I'm not super shocked that, and again, Microsoft's can take whatever they can get right now.
Yeah.
Because they have just been behind all generations. So, I don't think Microsoft and again, Nintendo is so much kind of like in their own space that they don't really see Sony or Microsoft as threats.
No.
So,
well, you can see that with just like how like maverick they are with like their consoles. Like they did the Wii and the Wii U and now the Switch, and it's just like, they don't really care what anybody else is doing. Like, they had this crazy idea, and then they're gonna go do it.
Yeah, for sure. But they would probably be a little more inclined to work with Microsoft as opposed to Sony, and we're seeing that now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're gonna like merge or anything like that, obviously. But
No, Nintendo has more
No.
money than God. They don't need to merge with anyone.
Yeah.
No.
But Sony is gonna need to wise up a little bit because they will keep doing that to Sony, just for fun, kind of.
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like, "Heh, heh."
And I realized one thing, the one on bad side about them doing those jabs back and forth, it does suck that like if the other one didn't exist, whoever did exist would probably just do all the bad things to make more money.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
there's like I don't know. That's what I was saying about Sony doing the jab at Microsoft. Like if it wasn't for Microsoft, they probably would have been the ones locking people out of their consoles, but whole thing sucks.
Yep.
Yep.
And it also sucks in here now. It's hot as balls. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
We won't do our last segment because we've probably gone for over an hour by now.
Yep.
Boys, it's good to be back. I'm glad you were at my wedding. I hope you had a good time. I love you both.
Hey, Sean got married.
I did get married.
So they get the Triforce on the inside of that?
Maybe.
Personal.
I've been calling it my Stanley Cup ring. Aaron doesn't like that. At any rate. Like, share, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. Just tell us how you really feel, because, I mean, just give it to me straight, Pat. You know?
All right.
Yeah.
I will. Off camera.
Tune in, and so I'm going straight from recording today. I'm going back to Pittsburgh to jump on the headset with Todd to record an episode of our sports segment because while I was gone, not only did the NFL draft happen, I'm sorry, NHL draft. Today was the beginning of free agency. All kinds of players moving teams. It's going to be nuts, and we're going to cover that today. So watch out for that when it posts and this when it posts. And I'm done talking now. Thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Until next time.
We pulled the table out, so pound on the table real quick. And I'll send the camera.
Yeah, you gotta pound on the table.
What?
Pound on the table.
Oh.
Okay. Bye.